I think like the game was just like basically a marketing campaign for the movie. You can't tell me it's not, because it is. Here's my critical game review right now. Critical game review. Yeah, strap yourselves in, because it's about to get real. Okay. This game, standing as a game, as a full price $60 game, which I got it for $70 because I got the deluxe edition. But this game is not worth $60. Go ahead, tear me apart. Feel free to leave your need for validation below. But hear me out. It's massive multiplayer game. Massive multiplayer game. So is PlanetSide 2. PlanetSide 2 is free. And I feel like I can get more entertainment out of PlanetSide than I can out of this game. Granted, yes, this game looks amazing, and games like PlanetSide 2 don't have that to boast. This game looks fantastic. But if you're gonna buy a game just based on graphics alone, I don't know why you're even buying games. I'll just say, like, the game modes are very generic, very much Battlefield type. It's, I don't know, like there's no weapon customization. The character customization is extremely limited. The old ones did best. It's like if you were like one of the top 3 heroes, like one of the top 3 players in your team, you could be a hero. You can't just straight up find it on the map. That's one thing they did wrong. In the so-called space battles are not really space battles. Space battles are just fighters flying around shooting at each other with no sense of what the hell the actual objective is. Oh god! Okay. There's no sense of what the objective is on like the quote-unquote space battles. They're not even space battles. Because if they were space battles, you'd be fighting in space. In this game, you don't fight in space. And I know people are gonna be like, well, it's so fun, the multiplayer is amazing, the graphics are cool. But it's just basically a rehash of Battlefield. Like Battlefield 2, the Bad Company series. But this feels less so, because it doesn't have a story. People are like, well, the story was made in the movies. I mean, that doesn't... Star Wars Battlefront 2. It had a storyline. This storyline was basically, you see the start of the Empire. You are there. You basically become you become a clone, and then you turn into the Empire, and you fight as the Empire. That's how the storyline went. Like, you were just a generic soldier going through each individual battle. That was dope, because each different planet had different objectives that you had to do to, you know, do that specific mission. This game doesn't have that. This game has generic... It has generic play sequences, like kill all enemies, and then you can go to any different planet and kill enemies. It's like, yeah, I know Star Wars Battlefront 2 also had these same game modes, but you can change the planet and you can change like who's fighting there. And Battlefront 2 was just more fun. Because it wasn't straight multiplayer. Because when you when you're fighting the AI in this game, the AI is so underpowered. Like they don't even pose a threat. Like in the second one, they made it perfect because they posed just enough of a threat to keep your attention. Like if you didn't know what you were doing, you were going to die a lot. But it allowed there to be plenty of room for a learning curve. There is no learning curve. If you're bad at multiplayer games, you are going to suck at this game. I'm brutally honest. Because there's so much riding on just the broken teammate system. You can't even pick your teammate. You can't pick a squad that you want to be in. Which is why, you know, I don't know. It's very. This game seemed very rushed. Very rushed to me. They left a lot of holes. And personally left out the best thing that separated Battlefront from all the other games, all the other shooting games of its time, like Call of Duty. There was Call of Duties. There was I don't know what else. I don't know what other shooting games are coming out back then. PlayStation 2 days. Basically, it was basically only Call of Duty. Oh, Metal Gear. No, Metal Gear Solid. No, they were coming out, but that's not a really shooting game. Medal of Honor. Yeah, Medal of Honor, Call of Duty. Those are like the two big ones that I remember personally. And the one thing that separated Battlefront from them was the space battles. And then the feel of it being Star Wars. This does not feel Star Wars to me. This feels like... I don't know. Besides the heroes, it's not Star Wars. Besides the heroes, there's nothing Star Wars about this game. There's really not. Not even the fighter battles. Because Call of Duty can fucking rehash that too. They can make jet fighter battles. And it does have it to where you're in a tight, really super enclosed space. Shit. Versus like a tight space, and you can only be fighters. And you can pick variants of one of two fighters. That's it. That's all the iconic space battle, Battlefront 2, has become. It's basically a joke. This game is so okay that it's a joke now. Yeah. If you love massive multiplayer games, go ahead, get this game. Go ahead, don't even listen to me at all. But this is just, it's not worth $60. It's not worth full price game. Or a full game price. Yes. It's just not worth it. I know I might get a lot of shit for this, but it's basically how I feel. This game doesn't feel like Star Wars, so I'm not gonna call it Star Wars. This feels like Battlefield. Ah, fuck, we're losing the other one. And the game modes are very okay. Very okay. See, I don't know what the fuck's happening. I know what's happening, but I don't know why it's happening. Here's what I wanted in a Star Wars game. They could have remade Battlefield 2, and that would have been perfectly fine. They could have just remastered it, and that would have been perfectly fine. But if you're going to make a massive multiplayer game, you needed to have it to where, let's say, you go into a match, battle for like Tatooine or something. Like, okay, that's fun. Battle for Tatooine. There's a space battle above Tatooine, and then there is also a ground battle. Ground battle unique to Tatooine, and a space battle unique to Tatooine. These things have to be unique, or else they just start meshing. Like all of these different game modes. This is basically the only game mode that's on this one map. But you can't choose. I don't know if you could choose another game mode on this map, because I haven't found it yet on another game mode. If you want a massive multiplayer game, you need to have the massive multiplayer feel. It needs to be gigantic. You can choose to go into space. You can choose to go on the ground. And you have, like, your team has a certain amount of time that they have to hold hold the planet. They could have combined Planet Side 2, that feel of, you know, what you're doing actually matters to the map on a whole. Like, if you capture a point, it changes the entire map, not just, you know, one game, one match, nothing happens after that. Like, there's an actual stake in the matter. And like Planet Side 2. And I keep referencing that game because it's massively multiplayer. That's all it is. It doesn't have a storyline, so huge multiplayer game. But all that talking about. Like much Planet Side 2. Like if you could fight. Like, except the map, like Planet Side 2 is just a map of the planet with like 4 or 5 continents. But then once you hit a certain level, you can't go back to one continent, which is what they probably should have done here. They should have made it to where the galaxy is basically a huge map, and the rebels and the Empire are always fighting over it. And you choose your side. Choose if you want to be a rebel. You choose if you want to be on the Empire. And the plus about doing that is that you basically have two forces who are willing to, you know, fight their best. Here it's just like people running around and shooting each other. But I feel like I play Planet Side 2, I actually feel like people actually try. But enough of me ranting about this game. I mean, the good parts about it, the music's okay. Music's not as good as I thought it would be for it being a Star Wars game, but it does fit some of the old pieces into it, and that's really nice. Because I was a huge Star Wars fan, and I actually like the prequels. The first one's very okay. The best thing about the first one is the final fight scene and the music that went with it. And just the fact that friggin' Natalie Portman was in it. But I'm not gonna say anything there. I like the second one because I think it, for the most part, successfully introduced the clones. Oh my god, I'm on 5 for 14, that's terrible. But it successfully introduced the clones and how all that happened. And how the Empire, how the army got so big. And how Palpatine was able to seize power in the Senate. And the third one, I like it because it ties, I think it actually kind of successfully ties in the prequels to the original 3. I love the original 3. The first one's good. I love the fifth one. Fifth one's probably my favorite out of all of them. I have not seen the newest one, and I'm scared. I'm terrified of it. I'm getting out of here because I'm gonna start recording soon. But anyways, that's my Star Wars rant. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, if you liked the rant, let me know. If you agree with me, let me know down below. If not, you know, argue with me. I mean, this could be a debate. This could be a friendly debate. Friendly debate, damn it! Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you on what we decide to do next. Bye-bye!